Welcome back, everybody. This is Friday, my usual Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning workout talk. Don't let the title mislead you or fool you. It's not that I'm talking to you guys about working out. I'm just talking to you guys on my way to workout in the morning. So I just like to title these installments as morning workout talk. And right now, you probably can't see my face, which is okay. I don't think that seeing me is what matters. I think that, my words and what I'm saying is what's more important. This is because I'm not driving with the light on. Usually I'm driving like this, and you guys can see me, but I am not doing that. I'm going to ride like this. This is how dark it is outside to me. And occasionally you may see glimpses of me as I'm passing up these street lights. That's why you're getting a little bit of insight into a visual of my representation on the video screen. But it's early, and I love this. It's therapeutic, sort of my moment of meditation. When you wake up early and everyone's asleep, you can feel yourself having the only, your whole orb, your aura. As an electrical being, you just feel that energy all in you, because they aren't, you don't have any visible distractions. You don't see anything distracting you. It's just you by your own self. It's oftentimes you see that when people get incarcerated and they get put in solitary confinement, something happens to those people. Not all the time, but most of the time. Because when you're by yourself in the dark and you're just left content with yourself and your inner demons and your inner thoughts, something happens. You definitely don't come out the same. You definitely don't come out the same. Yeah, on my way to the gym today, I'm doing back and biceps, and do some legs as well. I always try to incorporate the lower half of my body. I do a lot of I do HIIT. Usually when I start off, I start off with HIIT workout, high intense. What does it stand for again? High intensity interval training or something like that. High intense interval training. Or high interval intense training. Hell, it's one of those. All right, but I usually start off with that. I don't use those machines. I don't use ellipticals. I don't use those treadmills or Stairmasters. I don't know. That's too boring to me. I used to do that. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong. I'm not saying that it's not effective. It's effective. But warming up, I don't use those machines. I use my body. Burpees. That's my main thing. And it's been scientifically proven that burpees is the most effective, high HIIT workout. I feel like pronouncing all those acronyms again, but yeah, it's really the most effective because you incorporate your entire body, your arms, your legs, your buttocks, your abs, you're jumping, you're doing all of that, So, yeah, be doing that. You know how a lot of people they tell themselves, "Oh, I'm glad it's Friday," but I'm not that type of guy. I've never been that type of guy to be like, "Thank God it's Friday." For what? Because to me, in my personal life, see, I have to. And when I say I have to, I'm also telling you guys as individuals to do what's best for you. But personally, for me, and maybe you guys can resonate. Maybe some of the things I'm about to say may be able to resonate with you. But I feel that you can't. You may say, "Thank God it's Friday," and we understand why people say that, because the work week, right? Because people view the work week as the business days, Monday through Friday, which equates to slave days or wage slave days, right? Because we have to look at it from the terms of what it is, not from the terms of what the controllers give us. They give us the idea that it's a business day. No, it's a wage slavery day. It's a slave day. It's an oppression day. So when you say, "Thank God it's Friday," you're simply saying, "Oh, I'm off of work and I get the weekend." But during the weekends, you're weakened. I want you to follow me. You are weakened from the 5 days of work. Now, that's just assuming that you get Saturdays and Sundays off. Not everybody gets Saturdays and Sundays off. Most jobs people who work the 9 to 5s, your days off are spotty. You're gonna get 2 days off out of the week, but it may come on a Tuesday or a Thursday, and you may end up having to work a Saturday and a Sunday. So it varies. So this idea thing, TGIF, to me, number one, is really disingenuous, because it's not as if like the whole population of humanity is off on Saturday and Sunday. If that's the case, there'll be no businesses open. There's still places that are open for business on weekends. Okay, even church is a business, believe it or not. It's open on Sundays because the pastor has to preach. The people who work at the church have to come to work. It's work. It's a business. Don't get this idea that, oh, church is a spiritual place. No, it's a damn business, because they collect the money as well. Any building, any enterprise, any entity that uses funds to raise, uses fundraising means to gain wealth or to open up new ventures is a business. And any church that's trying to expand and build more buildings and do this, it's a business. Because what business does not want to expand? We are immersed in a free market economy, in a capitalistic society, so expanding at all costs is what this is all about. That's why greed is a number one attribute that's conceived from a free market economy. It's free market, so everyone is a dog eat dog world. It's the survival of the fittest. But I don't call it the survival of the fittest. I call it the survival of the most treacherous, the survival of the most cunning, the survival of the most deceptive, the entire network is based upon corruption. So it's the survival of the most corrupt. That's what it's all about. Corruption is what leads this country. The fact that we get taxed, the fact that we even have to go to work, working is a crime. But you guys won't believe me, because we've been all brought and bred to believe through religion, through tradition, through the generations. Just looking back, everybody we know always had a job, right? Our grandmothers, our grandfathers, our great, everybody work. That's what we think that life is about. It's not about that. It's a distraction. The controllers know that. They've been saying this for millennia, for years. And yes, there's an extraterrestrial agenda at play as well. We are Netflix to these extraterrestrials. You say, what does he mean that we're Netflix? Well, when you go on to Netflix, what do? You turn on a streaming network, and you have a plethora of options to choose from, depending on your mood. And you look through, and you click on something and you watch. Okay? I want you guys to start looking at the way that your system, that your earthly system runs, and use that as a way to think outside the box and to try to delve into deeper concepts that are not on the surface. Because I know it's very hard for people to think beyond the surface, because surface thinking is easy. Surface thinking is what's given to you. Surface thinking is what's provided to you. And surface thinking is what usually the controllers want you to think. They want you to stay on that surface plane. Digging deeper of what people want to consider to be conspiracy theories, or what they want to say, you're going down this rabbit hole. What the hell is wrong with going down the rabbit hole? That's my question. What's wrong with going down the rabbit hole? There's nothing wrong with that. You're exercising. That's like somebody saying, no, don't go work out because it's going to be kind of painful, because it's going to kind of hurt, and it's going to kind of put strain on your muscles. Just stay relaxed and comfortable, and just lift up your fork and lift up your spoon to eat. Don't do too much, but anytime you do something, just do it to pleasure yourself. That's analogous to surface knowledge, to surface information. It doesn't require any freaking thinking, because they're giving you the information to think about. Hence them telling you how to think, not telling you what to think, and not telling you how to think. So there's a difference there. I don't want people telling me what to think. I'm going to take what you give me in terms of what to think, then I'm going to go deeper and then train my brain on how to think about the information that you just provided. Whether I'm wrong or right, that's not the point. The point is that I'm thinking, that I'm using my damn brain. So again, I'm going to compare this to Netflix. As a human being, we put it on Netflix. We have a plethora of options to choose from. And we're like, okay, I'm going to watch this, I'm going to watch that. And you watch it, you watch. You're in control. Well, the controllers are in control. And the controllers are not human. The extraterrestrial. They look like you and I. It doesn't matter how they look. Hollywood has brainwashed the hell out of all of you. And some of you guys may scoff at me talking about aliens and extraterrestrials. It's okay. You can scoff all you want, but that's the truth. The thing is, they've created us, and we all war against each other. We are in an ecosystem that they've created. So it's sort of like people who take dogs and they go fighting dogs, right? Remember when Michael Vick had that, dog fighting ring going on, and he got caught and, stuff like that. He got penalized and went to jail because he was fighting dogs. So that's what we are. We are the dogs. We are the experiment to these extraterrestrials. Every race is marked with a DNA specialized by that extraterrestrial that led them. DNA manipulation has been going on for millennia. The first kind of people that were on this planet were people like us, like in terms of skin tone, were melanated blue black people. The variations of the different races didn't come because melanated people moved to the cold areas and then all of a sudden their skin became pale. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And you have many Christians who believe that. They be like, well, we know civilization began in Africa, but we know that people spread across the world, and as they migrated, their features changed. No, environment does not change phenotype. That's an impossibility. Environment doesn't change DNA. Now, the ecosystem may impact your DNA, but it's not going to change it. It's not going to change it. So I'll give you an example where if a person's out in the sun, I'll give you an example. So if me and my brother, and I have a real brother, if me and my brother and let's say I decided to stay in a hotter climate that gets a lot of sunlight, and I'm always out in the sun, and my brother, who has the same skin tone as he moved to a northern climate that's more cooler and cold, and he doesn't get the sun that much. Okay, yeah, my skin tone would be naturally darker, but it's not going to change my features. You can still tell that I'm a melanated man. My lips are full, my nose bridge is wider, my nose is not pointy like a Caucasian's nose, okay? I have hair flocculus, all right? I have hair flocculus. I don't have fur. It's not going to change my phenotype. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not going to change the essence of what you are, of what that DNA produces. It may change certain things on the surface where your skin tone may get a little bit lighter, but it's not going to turn you from a melanated person to a Caucasian person. It's not going to do that. All right? So this idea that people, so that's what we are. We've been created by extraterrestrials, and the extraterrestrials had different areas that they govern on the earth. And what they did, they branded the humans that they were governing. And these humans, we would worship these extraterrestrial beings and call them God. Hence the term in the Bible, there's no other God but me. Yeah, that God will be telling its people that there's no other God but me. So I'll give you an example. If I'm leading a flock of people, let's say I'm the most intelligent person on earth, right? And then I get a group of people to follow me, to worship me. But then I also know that there are other people that are like me, because we all come from this special place. We come from this special planet, and we all have this advanced ability that other humans don't have. We look human, but we can run faster, way faster than them. We could think much faster than them. We could create things with our technology because we're more advanced. In terms of technology, we're more advanced. We're more technologically advanced, and we can do things that they cannot do. So therefore, I also know that I have other people that are like me, because we all came from this different dimension. And I have all these humans that are like, oh my God, look at what this guy can do. And I start saying, I can control these people. And then I start to control them. I start to tell them that I'm a God. But if I know that I have others that are like me, I'm going to tell them, but there's no one like me. I'm different. Why would the creator of the universe tell people that there's no other God but me? Ask yourself that question. This is where critical thinking comes into play. The idea that you're telling people that you're governing that there's no other God like me, it's implied in that statement that there are other people like you. But then you're trying to convince those that follow you, those that submit and pray and worship you, that there's no other God like me. Don't worship those other gods. I know they can do nice tricks. They can do certain things that you guys deem to be supernatural, which is, there's no such thing as supernatural. There's just things that we don't have the technology to augment our third dimensional reality in this time space capsule. We can't defy gravity the way that certain, advanced civilizations can defy gravity, but it's the use of technology. Okay, you can say that because we use cell phones all the time, we don't think it's a miracle, but to communicate with somebody that's like thousands of miles away, if you were a primitive person that lived in the bushes all your life and you saw somebody talking to somebody in another country with a device, you're going to say, oh my God, how are they doing that? If you don't understand the technology, the only thing that you left to label it as is, oh, this must be supernatural. But because we understand the technology, it's not supernatural. Because we don't understand these extraterrestrials and the way they operate, they have to be gods. So that's the only way you would tell the people that you're governing that there's no other God like me. And what would you do to those people? You brand them. No different than a man who has cattle, a farmer who's raising a bunch of cows, right? You put your brand on those cows to let people know that I own them. And the cows will let people know that I'm owned by this person because that's their signet. They've put their label on my body. All right? The different species, the different races of human beings, the reason why we have the different races is because every extraterrestrial that came on the planet, whether you call them Anunnakis, the Nephilim, whatever the hell you want to call them, they have different names. The naming doesn't matter. And I think that's where we get into arguments or get into debates about who is who. We just know that there were extraterrestrial beings that came from another dimension, another planet, another star system. They came to this planet, which is called a seed planet. A seed planet means a planet that is for experimentation purposes. There are many, many civilizations that have come and gone. Millions of years before humanity was even thought of. They will come, do their little experiments, watch it go by, then they leave, another one comes. It's a seed planet. And right now we are the object. We are the experiment for this age, for this era. Soon it'll all pass and there'll be a new creation would manifest. So what they've done, these extraterrestrials, whatever extraterrestrial was governing a specific area on Earth, that particular extraterrestrial would manipulate the genetics of its people to have its people look like it or him or she or he or her, whatever. So if there was a blue-black extraterrestrial that had African features, it would naturally govern the people that look like him, and it would brand them. The branding was a DNA manipulative tactic. This took time to happen. It didn't happen overnight. But the original people that were on the planet were people like us. All right, melanated people. Civilization started in Africa. You didn't have a bunch of pale-skinned Caucasians in Africa at that time. They didn't even exist. Scientists have already proven that the European gene is the youngest gene, is the latest gene, meaning that it's early. It's the latest. It's the latest that's come on the scene. It's about 6,000 years old, and that's very, very early. 6,000 years. You know how long this planet has been here? 6,000 years is like 6 seconds, relatively speaking. That's like it just started. We were here millions of years. Melanin has different variations of tone. All right, pale skin is just what it is. Pale skin, European, pale skin, Caucasians, meh. It is what it is. So we're branded. So we're all created as an experiment, and then we're made to fight each other over religion, because religion means that your God is a true God. No, your God is a true God. So we have all these different religions, and most of these religions have a way of encapsulating a particular region. So the West, most of the West are Christians. Most of the East, they have these, orthodox religions, or what you call mystic type philosophical religions. They're not so much like religions, but they're more like philosophies, like the Buddhist monks, the monks, the people who believe in Buddha. They don't believe in Buddha as their savior, but they believe in his philosophy. So they follow that type of thinking. It's a mindset. It's a philosophy. You have people in the East, also in the East, in the Middle Eastern areas, who are more. You have some Christians there too, but you have the Muslims. But it's all made for division. And then you have the wars being fought by different areas. It's a game to them. It's like playing a video game. Let's see who's going to win. The controllers love war. It's not about money. Money is a surface stuff. If you think that, people go to war because it's to get the Federal Reserves rich and people die as part of a depopulation tactic, Yes, that's the surface stuff, but much deeper than that, they have watchers. They're people. They're the extraterrestrials that are watching all this. It's like this is fun to them. This side is gonna fight against this side. Let's see who's gonna win. Oh, they have guns and bombs. They have guns and bombs too. Let's see. You know. Oh man, they're getting fooled. They don't know that politics is just a joke. We put that here to distract them. Let's see how it works. Why do you think that the advancement of technology in the last 100 years has jumped? Do you think that human beings became that much smarter? No. Most of our advancements have come from extraterrestrial involvement. Why do you think they hide certain things in museums, or they could confiscate certain things? Why do you think that the war in Iraq during 9/11 was so important? Oh, you thought it was about terrorists attacking us and we're trying to get them back? It had nothing to do with that. Excuse me, I'm about to curse. We had nothing to do with that. That was just that's what you call a propaganda, a planned event to stoke the sentiments of war, to have everybody saying, hurrah, let's go to war. War is not something that's fun, folks. People die. No one wins in a war. The only people that win are the controllers, because they have an agenda that's far different from what your agenda is. You think that America is under attack, and you think that your freedoms are going to get taken away. So in your head, you've justified going to war. Basically, you're justifying the principle of death, because war is death. You don't have war without people being slain. So that's what they do. They use the media to control our minds, and then they go to war for their own motives, and they gain while we lose. They take more control. They take more of our freedoms while they win. When I say they, there's a human front, but behind the human front, there's an extraterrestrial agenda that's behind it. What do I mean by a human front? It's like if I was hidden and my face was hidden, and I had a puppet talking, but I'm the one doing the talking. But I have the masses thinking that this puppet is doing the talking. I have the masses thinking that people are in control. I have the masses thinking that these prime ministers and presidents and world leaders and all this other stuff are in control. No, they're not in control. They're just the faces. They're the faces. You never see those that actually control everything. All right, you will get close to them, like the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, those rich banking families. They have extraterrestrial connections. You say, what do you mean by extraterrestrial connections? That means that they are involved with extraterrestrials, meaning that extraterrestrials are giving them insight on how to make things run. You think those people are that damn smart? They're not that damn smart. They've provided them a system in which they can use to control the masses. They're there. It's sort of like a CEO. The CEO doesn't manage the company. It's just the CEO. All right. The chief executive officer has a lot of say-so because they're the CEO, but they're not on the floor managing the stores or managing the business. You never see the CEO. The CEOs of our planet are extraterrestrial folks. And the people that are in charge, the reason why there are more Caucasians that are in charge, because it's a war against the superior beings of the planet. It's a war against the true gods of the planet. The ones that are more in tune with nature. The ones who have a higher functioning pineal gland. The ones who have a synergistic connection with the sun. The ones that are being suppressed. Our truth is being suppressed in a form of unrighteousness. Which is why we don't think on the same level. The Caucasian mind and the melanated mind are just totally different. One is rhythmic, one is unrhythmic. One is functional, one is dysfunctional. So we are under an extraterrestrial control, but it's an experiment. It's fun to them. That's why death is not a big deal. People die. The world keeps going. They don't care. All right? So it's a survival of the most deceptive. That's what it's all about. Most people who have made millions of dollars in this world and who are rich, they've gotten what they've gotten through corruption. This idea of I'm gonna honest man's job, I'm gonna work on, no, that's a bunch of BS. You're gonna consistently be a slave. You're gonna work till you die. That's what it is. All right, thank you guys. I'm about to get into this gym. It's 4:53. All right, thank you guys for indulging me in another morning workout talk.